What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are enjoying your Thursday evening, staying warm and dry. So, Peter Thomas, the feds want a 2-year prison sentence for Bar One's Peter Thomas and tax case. 2 years is a lot of time. Well, let's get into this article. It says restaurateur and former reality star Peter Thomas should serve at least 2 years of prison time for his failure to pay millions in taxes withheld from his workers' paychecks at his restaurants, according to a new sentencing memo from federal prosecutors. Thomas's flagrant violation of his federal payroll tax obligations over many years that served to unjustly enrich his companies and himself by more than $2.5 million and deprive the federal government funds used to provide important retirement and disability benefits to employees, warrants the recommended sentencing, the memo states. Thomas, who owned Bar One, the former Harbor East restaurant, is widely known for his marriage to ex-wife Cynthia Bailey, the Real Housewives of Atlanta star. He briefly appeared on The Real Housewives of Potomac last year when cast member Wendy Osefo considered opening a Nigerian lounge with Thomas in Maryland, though the project never came to fruition. I know she is. I know. Listen, when I tell you, I know Wendy is so grateful and thankful that it never did come to fruition because don't nobody need all these tax problems. It says, according to court documents filed in North Carolina between 2017 and 2023, Thomas caused Club One, CLT Sports One, Sports One CLT, PT Media, Bar One Miami Beach, and Bar One Baltimore to fail to pay $2.5 million in employment taxes, including more than 1.7 in trust fund taxes from the wages of his employees. Instead of paying the employment taxes that were due on behalf of his businesses, the sentencing memo states Thomas spent just under $375,000 on travel and ride sharing expenditures and over $250,000 on luxury goods from Neiman Marcus, Prada, Louis Vuitton, and Givenchy, among others. Wow. Wow. Thomas, like, I'm sorry, I'm reading this verbatim. So it said Thomas, like most tax cheats, was motivated by greed, the memo states. This is the sentencing memo. It's not funny, it's just the way. Did Tyrone Blackburn write this? Because this is a mess. Thomas defied the tax laws, expanding his business, hiring more employees, increasing overhead, and adding more business locations at the expense of his legal obligations. Americans can spend their money as they see fit, including on business ventures. However, they cannot steal other people's money, and in this case, their employees' payroll taxes, to prop up their otherwise failing business ventures. Thomas agreed to plead guilty in the summer to one felony count of failure to pay over trust fund taxes. Several lawsuits remain open against Bar One in Baltimore, including ones filed by vendors and creditors. And listen, here's a few things, right? Because I made a couple of videos about Peter Thomas and his business uh, failings in the past. The fact that Peter, I don't know if you guys remember this, that he tried to blame Baltimore for the reason why his businesses were failing is crazy because even his manager from his restaurant in Miami, Bar One in Miami, went on Tasha K and was oops, sorry about that. I have my phone. She went on Tasha K and was basically saying that, you know, um she had to let employees stay there at the restaurant because they were being evicted because he wasn't paying them. That he was basically robbing Peter, or what's that adage? Robbing Peter to pay Paul. Yeah. Well, Peter, there's nobody else to rob because you were essentially robbing your employees. Um, I remember Portia even confronted him during that reunion. She's like, ask how your waitresses are getting paid. They're getting paid with, she said, peen. I'm sorry, Portia. Portia is a mess and a half, but she is TV gold. Peter, it's unfortunate because if you guys remember in one of his videos, he said that he wasn't going to pay the federal government a dime. Like he was talking real slick and real greasy. And I'm like, listen, sir, this is not Jamaica. Okay. Uncle Sam does not play. You better ask Al Capone about it. You better call Wesley Snipes and ask him about it. It's a whole lot of people that come to my mind that have gone to prison, federal prison, this is a federal crime, over not paying their taxes. And the fact that they laid out his other expenditures. And these aren't just, like he was, trying to upgrade the restaurant or trying to get caught up on things, or even doing renovations, right? They listed Louis Vuitton, they listed Prada. So they have you on tape in 4K, thumbing your nose at the federal government saying that you're not going to pay. Then they went through everything and they said that you spent over $250,000 on luxury goods from Neiman Marcus, Prada, Louis Vuitton, and Givenchy. Wow, that's $250,000. Like that could have covered a good deal of your employees right there. Then $375,000 on travel and ride sharing expenditures. Ride sharing, like we're there's no Uber in the world. Peter, what kind of ride sharing? Okay, so travel. I don't know if he tried to attempt to write these off as business expenses. Like I'm learning about entrepreneurship. I was transitioning from academia to becoming a full-time entrepreneur. And these self-employment taxes are no joke. I don't even have employees and overhead and all that stuff. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible so that I am not in the clique with Peter. It's not funny. It's really not. My heart does go. It goes out to him. I'm not laughing at him. I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at the fact that he really. I don't know if you thought this was Jamaica or what, but you can't do so wrong for so long and not expect it to catch up with you. Like you can't thumb your nose at the federal government. And this, especially in this country, like this is not Canada or even in Europe, you know what I mean, where they can work with you. Like the United States of America, in my opinion, is one of, if not the biggest, capitalist country where, I mean, capital literally, I know capital rules the world and money rules the world, but here, like cash is king. And not only that, I feel like not paying your taxes, and adding insult to injury and saying, I'm not going to pay them a dime, they're not going to get anything. Like this is one of the most punitive countries in the world. The United States locks up more people per capita than any place else in the world. We're only 4% of the population here in the US. That's it. Out of all the countries in the 100.